Game and a Podcast is now live on Twitch. Thank you for pressing that start button on this week's Press Start Game and a Podcast. I am your host, William Corwin, also known as the Alabaster Dragon. And here today with me, I have Ken Eckelbogger, also known as Specific Harry. Then I also have with us today, Zachary Taylor. So,
hello.
And we are on week 8, so far it's been going pretty well, and I'm hoping it just gets better. So we're just gonna hop right into this, and our first topic we're going to be talking about is Doom. Have you guys heard of Doom?
I've known about Doom for a long time.
What do you mean by that?
I
As
mean,
in
like all the Doom games. The new
Bethesda
Doom game?
Doom or the original Dooms?
All of the above?
All of the above. Okay. Because I never really played the older ones. I know they're supposed to be like huge, like genre defining, and they're like, it was supposed to be way before its time and everything.
They were.
And I mean, I never really played them, and I never really got to see what was like the hype behind it and everything. And Bethesda released this last year at E3. I was like, oh, it looks like a fun game, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get it if it's like $15 on Steam when it sooner or later or something. But what are you guys' thoughts about this game? It just got its release date, and it's coming out May 13th. So what are your guys' thoughts?
My thoughts are probably the same as yours. If it goes on sale for about $15-20 on Steam one day, I'll probably get it.
Oh, yeah.
But I have not seriously played a Doom game in a while.
Yeah,
I think I played Doom 2, and that was about it.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
I don't know. I think it came out before I was even born. That come out like the
Probably.
80s.
Yeah.
Somewhere like 80, 87 or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember playing it though. We had a computer, and we had a couple old games on it, and that's what we would play. We had Doom, Turok.
Ooh, Turok. That's a good old game.
Yeah.
I played that a lot.
It was weird. Yeah, I think
That was on
Doom
original
was.
Xbox.
I'm trying to remember. Was it Doom? No, it wasn't Doom. There was another game that was kind of like Doom that my sister played, which was weird because she was like really good at it. It was like a first-person shooter, and it kind of looked like Doom. I can't remember what. It was.
Duke Nukem?
No.
Is they kind of had the same feel in some ways.
What's the Unreal Tournament?
Oh yeah, Unreal Tournament.
I know, but it was something like that. I can't remember. Something to that degree. But yeah, she played that, and so I mean, probably the same as you guys. I mean, if it goes on sale, I might pick it up. But
yeah, I wasn't super psyched about that like I was with Fallout 4, but
Well, I mean, with everything
Interesting
else that
choice.
was announced at E3, I mean, it was kind of hard for anything to compare to, I mean, Fallout 4, a Final Fantasy 7 remake. It was
Yeah,
hard for anything else to even compete with them.
yeah,
Yeah. Plus, it just looks like a typical like dungeon crawler type first-person shooter. I mean, it doesn't look like anything too special.
yeah. I thought it was an interesting game. It's kind of has some big shoes to fill, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
So, have you guys played Terraria?
Yes.
Yes.
Because the people who created Terraria is now coming out with a 3D RPG called Portal Knights. Have you guys seen the
Oh.
trailer?
Yeah, I've seen some trailers of Portal Knights. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
It's kind of like looks like Minecraft.
Yeah, it looks like Minecraft where there's blocks everywhere, but it looks like a lot more cartoonish and not as 64-bit as Minecraft is. But there's three different classes. And there's one that's the warrior, one that's the ranger, and one that's the magician or the mage. And you get levels and experience and level up your character, and there's dungeons and everything. But then there's also the element of like Minecraft where you can build your own castle and
So it's like Terraria except 3D.
yeah, basically. But there's
But you
classes
don't have all the cool
and
weapons.
there's experience.
I'm gonna have to look that up now.
Yeah, from the trailer, I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be some sweet weapons, but not nearly as insane as Terraria, like miniguns and all that. But it does look really cool.
I liked my
That would
crystal
be
rifle.
cool. Like if they just did a 3D Terraria. Like why don't they
Mhm.
just do that?
Yeah, apparently they have like, in like, I'm going to compare it to Destiny in a way with like the strike missions. They apparently have like strike missions where you go out with your like squad of 4 people and like get through the dungeon, and then there's a dungeon boss at the end of it, and you get like better loot and like get experience and level up your character.
I wonder if these
So
are
I
just
thought it
like
was pretty
spread
cool.
out through the world and you have to find the dungeons or
Yeah,
just oh, okay.
there's this is what I believe is there's dungeons throughout the map, but then this is called Portal Knights, and once you get materials, it's kind of like Minecraft where you build like the Nether portal. It looks like you can build a portal to like different dungeons, and that's how you like go through those dungeons and like fight the bosses and collect the loot and everything. And there's a crafting system in this game, just like Terraria and Minecraft. But the combat system actually looks really good. It reminds me of Zelda combat, where you lock on to the character and your guy kind of like bounces around like in a circle around that enemy. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I'm excited for
Sounds
this.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw it, like I saw it on Facebook, and I didn't think it was actually like I thought it was one of those just cheap games. It might actually be worth something to look into.
Yeah, it's made by the creators of Terraria, and they are doing something right with Terraria. So I really enjoyed that game. So that's a thing you can keep an eye out for. So let's go to our next topic. And you guys have seen Star Wars, right?
What?
Have you guys seen Star Wars? The new Star Wars movie?
Yes.
Have you, Zach?
I might make a lot of enemies here, but no, I haven't, not yet.
What?
Yeah, I know.
no,
I'm like a
fine.
big Star Wars nerd, so why haven't I gotten to see it?
So you are a fan of Star Wars? Because I know people that
Of
are
course
like, I haven't seen it, but I'm not that big in Star Wars, so I can understand that. But
I love Star
if you're
Wars.
a fan of Star Wars and haven't seen it yet, it's kind of weird, Zach.
Well, it came out at a really bad time for me because, I moved and then I was working.
Yeah,
so
that's true, that's
it was a really bad time.
Yeah, but the reason why I brought this up is because there is going to be a Lego Star Wars game coming out, and it's the movie. It's called Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and there's a trailer out that is exactly like the movie, and like the animations and the cutscenes and everything. You know how that Star Wars trailer came out such a long time ago before the movie came out,
Mm-hmm.
and it this trailer is exactly the same thing, but it has kind of like the Lego twist to where there's like humor in it and everything. But they do such a good job with this stuff. I thought it was hilarious, and it's another game to keep my eye out. And I spent so much time on Lego Star Wars 1 and 2 on GameCube.
Uh-huh.
Those games
I remember
were
those
amazing.
days.
Yeah, but I don't know. I might get this game on computer sometime, play it. Maybe it's as good as the older ones. So it's another thing to keep an eye out for.
Now, is it more like story based, or is it more like an open world type?
I believe it's going to be around the one movie.
Oh, okay. See, the one Lego game that I really like is the Marvel superheroes Lego, just because it's an open world type.
Like the city one?
Yes, I think that's a cool feature, and then it's still story driven in the sense that you play the missions and fight the villains and stuff like that. And, see, that would be
Yeah.
cool if they did. They haven't done a You should do like a have they done like a DC comic, like a one of those, like with Batman and Superman? They haven't really done any of that. That would be a cool one to do. I know they do Batman, but that's just very, very linear in the story.
I don't
Same
think they've
thing
ever
with-
done a just DC in general one.
Yeah, see, that would be cool. They need to do more stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Licensing might have like some issues there or something, so I'm not sure. But when was the last time you guys played Call of Duty?
Try
Because I've been playing it quite a bit actually, but not the multiplayer. The zombies. I love me some good Nazi zombies. And the new expansion for Black Ops 3 just came out with the new zombies map. And I really like this expansion. I would probably say it's in probably my top 3 favorite zombies maps, and I've played every single zombies map. That's saying a lot because I really really like Kinder der Toten, the first one for Black Ops 1, and then I really liked Ascension, that was from Black Ops 1, and then I really liked Die Rise from Black Ops 2. That one was really really fun too. But this one I think kind of replaces Die Rise, and this one is basically a castle that. Did you guys ever play Black Ops 2 Zombies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you play the Mob of the Dead on Alcatraz?
Probably.
Okay, well, one thing that's on that level is there's these dogs on the walls, and you have to feed them zombies.
Yeah.
And for this one, instead of dogs, it's dragons. And once
Yeah.
you feed all 3 dragons, which is actually, they made it pretty easy in this one, everybody can get a bow and arrow. And it takes up one of your primary slots, and it gives you 60 arrows with the bow. And it's really, really strong. And
Have you
it just.
upgraded them yet?
Oh, so you've seen this, Ken?
Yeah. I watched Dahita Nogla and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So
and
yeah,
Thanos.
I've seen them fight the boss and stuff like that and all that. So yeah, I know what level you're talking about, and it looks nice, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care for zombies too much.
Mm. Yeah, it. Nice thing about this map, you can make it really simple and get the bows and the gravity spikes really easily, and then that just survive. Or you can make it super complicated and try to do the Easter egg,
Yeah,
which
it's
is
massive.
it's insane. Just doing one bow, like trying to figure out how to do one bow, took me over like 4 hours. Then once I knew how to do it, like restarting and trying to do it again still took me about 30-45 minutes just to upgrade one bow. And there's 4 bows.
Yeah.
And you need all 4, and then you need 4 people to do the Easter egg. And then I was watching Vanos, and all of them were doing it, and apparently once you like shove the gravity spikes into the ground at the same time, it teleports you to another dimension, and then there's like a huge boss. Like you have to survive skeletons, dogs, zombies,
Well,
like ghosts, and then the main boss. And it's just there's so much crap happening at the same time. I was like, I'm not even gonna try that. That's just way too complicated. But I do like the upgraded bows. The upgraded bows are really sweet. So that's what I've been playing a lot lately.
yeah,
uh,
so you play that.
so, did you guys play The Division at all? They had the beta over last weekend, I believe.
Yeah, I
Yes.
tried to get into it, but it was so many people that it said that I won't get in unless I pre-order the thing. Which I was like, nope,
Mm.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, for some reason, when I pre ordered my game, it ended up taking over 18 hours to get to my email. And I pre
Wow.
ordered the game. So it's like guaranteed beta access. And it took over 18 hours just to get my
No,
code.
no thank
So I was like, that's kind of sketchy. But I really, really, really liked it. Now, I really like Destiny. Yes, it got old and repetitive, but I still enjoy Destiny. This one, I feel like it's not going to get that repetitive, and hopefully, I'm
Massively.
praying right now. Hopefully, there's a campaign. Because
Well, they'll be
Destiny's
the main
campaign
story.
was
They'll be
sketch.
the main storyline. It's
Yeah.
literally the thing's gonna be like Destiny. It's just an open world map, and you just farm. Like, I mean, it's pretty
No,
much exactly it. And there's gonna be there's hopefully though the story is better than Destiny, but it's just there's gonna be a storyline, and you have to complete the storyline.
yeah, there's missions that you get like sent to, and it's only your squad do those
Yeah.
missions. And then there's like the open world, like interactive side quest and all
Yeah.
that.
Now I will
Those were
say
fun.
though, the beta was very limited. Like I've heard that a lot of people, other people were saying that there was absolutely like no content on the betas. It was very minimalistic.
It
So I mean,
was.
there could be when it gets released that there could be a lot more content that we don't even know about. So
Yeah,
like more mission types, more weapons, more armor, stuff like that.
I'm
But I
hoping.
mean, it is very simplistic in its game style. There's going to be missions, and you're going to probably have to do missions over and over again. That's a typical MMO.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be collecting gear, so you're going to have to be farming a lot. You're going to have to be killing, and it's very PvP oriented. So you're going to have to be killing a lot of people to get the better gear, to get to more rank and stuff like that. So I mean, that it's going to be grinding. Like if you don't like games that you're going to have to grind out to get anywhere, it, probably this isn't going to be the best thing for you.
Yeah, I don't mind a little grinding, but I just hope it's not as bad as Destiny.
No, I will say though, it would be interesting to maybe see what like casual players are like in the game, like to see if you're not like hardcore, like I know a lot of people are that
Yeah.
like will like to grind. If it would be fun to say maybe say, hey, yeah, let's get a group of 3 people and just go do a couple missions or something.
Hmm.
If the repetitiveness isn't too bad, would it be worth buying? That would be something to look into.
Yeah, so I actually have, it's me and two of my friends pre-ordered the game, and we're already planning like a couple weeks ahead of like opening up time and making sure we have like some opportunities to so we can all play together and everything. And I'm going to be
Didn't even
streaming
invite
that.
me.
Well, I didn't know if you want to get the game because it's for Xbox One. I got it for Xbox One.
I wonder why they didn't do a 4-player teams. Why they only did 3?
No, I found out it is four.
Oh, it is 4. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's a four-man squad. So we do have an open spot. Whoever wants to join. So yeah, the game was good. The beta, I finished it within like I don't know. Like I got the best equipment and the best guns and attachments and everything within like 4 hours.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a chunk, but a pretty small
Now,
chunk.
let me ask you,
Hopefully.
when you, how do you like when you level up your character, you get weapons that like you kill things or do missions, and you get weapons based on your level, and whatever level that weapon is, you put mods on it to either increase its DPS or rate of fire or stuff like that. Is that what it is?
So how the weapons and armor work and the leveling system works is there's experience and you get levels. How the loot works, well, let me go back. You get experience, get levels, and then you can spend points on these perks for your class because there's 3 classes. There's the medic, the engineer, and assault. And it's kind of like Destiny, where the bumpers are your special abilities, and the left bumper might be a medic ability, and the right bumper might be an assault ability. So you can choose and like kind of mess around with all the different perks from the 3 skill trees. I thought that was interesting, and then you can upgrade those perks to make them even better and everything. And now the loot system, how that works is it depends on the level of guys that you kill. It doesn't depend on your level. It depends on the people you kill.
So if you
So
killed a level 50 or whatever when you were um, level 40, you'd get level 50 gear.
yes,
Okay.
that's how I believe because that's what I saw when I was playing the beta. Because I was we were doing the strike like or not strike mission, me Destiny. We were doing the mission and we were already like maxed out level and everything. We did it on easy. We went through it, and the level of the boss at the end was, I think, level 4. So we got level 4 equipment when he died. He dropped to level 4 equipment, which I was like, it's like, oh, all right. But he dropped attachments, which you can like never have enough attachments because you can customize the crap out of your guns. You can attach different grips. You can attach different muzzle brakes. You can attach different sights. You can attach different magazines. Hey, thanks Harvey for following.
Julio.
And then you can do like different stocks, and it maybe like the magazines might increase your ammo capacity. It might increase how fast you shoot, and then there's like the silencers where you don't show up on radar and it's harder to hear you. stuff like that. So the attachments are really, really a sweet thing about it. Now, those have levels also. So the boss dropped level 4 guns, armor, and attachments, but the attachments are still nice to have. Now, we went back and did that mission on hard mode, which he was level 8, which was the max level during the beta. And once we killed him, I got all blue items. Because before, I got all green items. This time, I got all blue items, and I got all level 8 equipment. So, that's what I think is going to kind of like roll out in the Division. It's not your level, it's the enemy's level that job stuff.
Now, the minions and the boss, I mean, do they feel like Destiny when you're killing them? Like, you just unload a clip into, like, I mean, or does it actually feel more like a first-person shooter, or like a third person, I believe?
Did you ever play Watch Dogs?
Yeah.
Because it felt a lot like Watch Dogs. Because the whole game is so focused on cover-to-cover fighting. Because if you're not behind cover, you're going to die very quickly.
Yeah, but in Watch Dogs, I'm pretty sure a person usually gets shot like 3 times and he's usually dead. I mean, it's more realistic in that sense.
Yeah, this game, when we did that mission on hard, it sent at us more enemies, and they had more health. So it was a little more like bullet spongy, which hopefully the enemies get like more interesting later on.
Yeah, unless they add a different variety of enemies. And that's the thing, is you're going to get kind of bored of firing at the same enemies over and over and over again. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, because if you shoot them enough times, they're not going to die, and they'll just run behind you, so your cover's pretty much worthless.
Yeah.
In the sense that they can just run, your bullets have no consequences of damage, so they just run behind you. There's really no good cover, because you can't really stop them from doing what they want to do.
The cover system worked magnificently, though, in Division. I was really impressed, because Watch Dogs, I thought, had a really, really good cover system. And that was, like, open world. But the co-op and, like, everything you see can turn into cover, practically. Which I thought was really, really sweet. So, I think that's about enough of the Division. We'll have to figure out how it's going to turn out, and I'm going to be at the midnight release at GameStop getting my Xbox One copy. See how it goes.
Midnight release, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people pre-ordered it. I'm hoping it's not another Destiny over again, but...
Yeah, but you had fun playing that for the time you played it.
Yeah, Destiny was good. It was a good game. I'm just hoping we have more content. Is why I'm kind of...
I know, they're already deciding to... They're not even going to release anything in 2016, aren't they? Like, that's
yeah.
They're done with Destiny. They're like, screw it, we're just going to release Destiny 2. Like,
well,
anyone who bought it, screw you. Like,
they said how Destiny is going to work is every game they come out with, your character will transfer to the new game.
That won't be as bad, though.
And the Taken King was technically supposed to be Destiny 2, but they were having so many issues with so many complaints with like the loot cave, for example. They had to hurry up and fix that, and then there's a lot of bugs and glitches they had to fix, and a lot more problems that they need. Hey, thanks for following, Prime Nose.
Thank you.
And there's a lot of just like bugs and glitches and like the layout that they needed to fix and figure out everything that they got behind. And then once The Taken King came out, they just said it was an expansion, it wasn't Destiny 2. And now they're working on Destiny 2, but apparently they're having issues with it, or there's something going on at the studio that we don't know, like behind the scenes, and they're having a hard time. So I believe even more developers from Bungie left. And I think they're trying to get more developers and creators of the game to work on the game. Yeah, Destiny. Good game, but there's a lot of problems. Hopefully it'll fix in the end. You play a little bit of Destiny, right, Zach?
I did.
Yeah.
Quite a bit when it first came out.
Yeah. It's a solid game, but short game.
Yeah, no, I got to like level 30 in like maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
I stopped playing it when I got to the end game, when we got to all the raids and stuff, and then it was too difficult to try and find new people to play with, and everyone I did play with kind of left me because I worked third shift.
Yeah, and that's
So
when I was
they never wanted to
doing
raid
the
with me.
Yeah. So let's move on from this topic. I believe you said something about this earlier. Visage? Is that how it's pronounced?
Visage.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, Zach?
I don't know a lot about it. I just watched some of the gameplay for it a while ago. Actually, earlier today, actually.
Yeah.
And it reminded me a bit of like how PT was
Yeah.
watching it. I mean,
Well-
it was the first thing that popped up in my head, but it wasn't like eerily similar. It was just like, oh, this kind of reminds me.
Yeah, the article I read says Visage is the hyper-real horror game in the style of PT.
Yeah, they definitely felt similar. They didn't
Yeah.
really look similar, but it was like as you were watching it being played, it was like it gave you that sense like you were watching the PT demo again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it was pretty horrifying.
That's
and
what
I don't do well
I
with
kind
horror
of felt
games.
like. Oh, you don't? So, did you ever play Five Nights at Freddy's or
Of course
any
I
of
did.
the popular? You did, but you said you hate horror games.
I do. I hate horror games. I don't know why I played them.
I mean, those were like $8, so
Yeah, those were
might as well play
$8.
them. Yeah, it looks interesting. I wasn't. It's not like I'm terrified of horror games. It's like they're fun, but it's a one-time play, which I want kind of a game that keeps that I can play over and over again.
I'm not even
Yeah.
sure how I beat Fear 2.
That's an old game.
Yeah. Scared the crap out of me.
So, have you guys heard of anything about the new XCOM game?
No.
XCOM 2.
I don't know a lot about it, but it was something I kind of looked into for a little bit the other day. And from what I understand, I'm not sure how the gameplay is because I haven't looked it up.
Not
But
right now,
from
Prime
what I
is.
understand, it's kind of like a strategy game in a way.
Yes.
From what I understand.
Yeah, it's a turn base.
And all of the units you get, or at least some of them, are customizable.
Yeah, all of the units are customizable. I saw that.
I would hate that game. I'm probably going to get it at some point, but I'll probably hate it because I'll spend like an hour customizing a whole group of characters and then they'll die 5 minutes later.
Yeah, I never played the first one, but I did want to get to it. Hopefully, you can just play the second one. You don't have to go straight, or you don't have to play the first one to understand the second one. I don't think you have to, but it's one of those games that I did want to play because I do like turn-based games, and this one looks really, really good, like graphically wise, and there's like destructible environments, and it kicks your butt. I have watched some people play it, and it does kick your butt, even on like the easier settings. And this is the game where if one of your guys in your squad dies, he's dead forever. Like there's no way to get him back. So I don't know how I feel about that because I'm not the greatest at like turn-based games, kind of like a Fire Emblem.
Yeah, that's how I play my Fire Emblem games.
Ugh.
They die, they're dead. Which means if they die, I have to restart that mission because there ain't no one dying on me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like a good game. I'll probably get it on sale on Steam, but because there's so many other games I'm playing right now. But it looks like a game that I would play eventually.
Yeah, I don't really care too much for turn-based. They bore me too quickly. I'm more of a real-time kind of guy.
Oh yeah, so kind of Age of Empires or Total War.
Yeah, well, Total War is half turn-based. So like, if it has something that's enjoyable for the time being, that kind of breaks the monogamy of no, I said that wrong.
That's fine.
I think that's how is that you can only marry
big
one
words.
person.
Ken use big words.
The monotony of
there you go.
Of turn-based games, because like I love
example,
Heroes of
Brian.
Mighty Magic. Like, have you ever played Heroes of Mighty Magic?
Yes.
I love that game, and my favorite is number 3. You can't beat it.
Isn't that turn-based?
It is, but it has a fun fighting system in that sense, and I loved playing it as a kid. And I still love playing it now, though the newer ones are a little bit. They're too
simplistic.
Yeah, they got rid of some stuff, and then they tried adding some stuff, and they just totally ruined it.
Yeah.
But they are pretty fun still. Though a lot of them have gotten really boring for me. That's why I like more like Sins of the Solar Empire, or like you said,
Age of
Total War.
Total War.
Because they're turn-based, but the fighting system is amazing. It adds so much to the game, and it makes it enjoyable, and it's actually a strategy. Like, you actually have to control the fight, or else if you don't do it good enough, your entire platoon will get wiped out like that. This one is turn-based. You can always, I guess if you quick save it too, but like you can always, like a lot of turn-based games, there's usually like a turn back button that if you don't like the move, you can just turn it back. This one is like if you don't quick save it, you're kind of screwed if you mess something up in real life. Because I was thinking about buying a game on the Steam sale, and the whole thing was pretty much, most of it was turn-based. The fighting wasn't, but I was just like, the turn-based part just turned me off, and I didn't buy it. Like, if they made it fully real time like that, it would have been amazing. I would have bought it like right then and there. But,
yeah.
So I mean, it looks fun. I mean, some people, I think you're gonna enjoy it if you like those types of games. Like you said, Fire Emblem. If you like Fire Emblem, you're probably gonna love this game.
Yeah.
Love
So, Prime Knows, our viewer on Twitch, actually has an interesting concept I never really thought about like this. He says, I want a reboot of F-Zero so that it's no longer just a racing game, but also an open world game where you can do missions in the city, fight crime, and Falcon Punch. I just thought of Super Smash Brothers. Guys in maybe like a GTA style open world, but still racing is like the main focus.
So
I don't
he wants more of like here. Let me see if I can find where is it?
They did
kind of like. Sorry, go.
Okay. Prime. They actually did come out with another F-Zero style game. It was like the they wanted the feel of the F-Zero. Because Nintendo, I don't know what Nintendo's doing with the F-Zero franchise. I don't know if they're just going to, like, let it die out or something, or is we haven't had one in so long. And they actually got Kickstarter to make this other F-Zero game. It's not technically F-Zero, but they even got the same announcer. It's actually on the Wii U. I believe it is $20. I can't remember the name, but that's an interesting game. But it's just the racing. That's an interesting concept. I don't know. I highly doubt Nintendo would do that to a franchise that they kind of like given up on, sadly.
Yeah, well, I mean, they could make it a lot like Mad Max kind of type thing. I mean, that is an open world and it's mainly focused on the cars. I mean, you could do it something a lot like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, F-Zero, those vehicles are going so ridiculously fast. I don't know how you would kind of put that in an open world aspect.
Well, it would be a lot like, say, kind of like Tron, where you have like the vehicles outside, but then when you go and do like it puts you into like a race, almost kind of like. That's why I never understood like games like that do that, like racing games. Like, why don't they do that? Put like an element on the outside, and then you have to like go to the event like um, across the world. So kind of like if they made a game um, like Forza Horizon 2, except they made it so you can actually like walk around and then get into like the other cars, or like go to your own garage and you have like all your cars sitting in the garage, and then you go and get in one. Like, make it like that. That would be something that would be cool.
It would be interesting. I thought it was an interesting concept.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to see another Earthbound or another F-Zero anytime soon, but I mean, we can always hope. Maybe the new Nintendo NX will come out with
a NES game. Did they ever make a NES game? I think they made one.
That's Earthbound.
Is that Earthbound?
Yeah.
They made one back like.
I'm trying to remember. They made an HD remake of Earthbound because I believe Earthbound only released in Japan, but they made an HD remake which came to the Wii U, which you can buy.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it still was made back in like freaking like 1980 something like that. So I mean, it's an old game.
Yeah. So, speaking of campaigns, did you guys ever play Titanfall 2 at all?
Titanfall 2.
Because they are currently making Titanfall 2 right now, and Titanfall 1 was only multiplayer, which I'm not liking this kind of routine of games being only multiplayer, like Rainbow Six Siege and I mean this game, or Titanfall 1, and there's another big game that was only multiplayer that had no campaign, which I'm not exactly liking that, because I always really enjoy the campaigns to these games.
Well, Rainbow Six, that's what made Rainbow Six Rainbow Six, was the freaking campaign. Like, it was amazing. Like, I loved Rainbow Six campaign. Like, me and my brother went through and completed it, and we would dive down on the things, break the doors. I mean, that's what was fun.
Yeah, Rainbow Six Las Vegas, or
Las Vegas. Yeah, Las Vegas. Yeah. Love that.
Those games
was amazing.
Are great. Yeah, but Titanfall did have an excuse, because they had a pretty low budget, and they even asked people, would you want just a multiplayer focused game or a single player focused game? And
I think
majority of the vote said multiplayer.
See, that's stupid, because I think they probably could have done way more better if they did a 4-player co-op rather than a multiplayer thing, because you're competing with games like Call of Duty and stuff like that, which they're already on there. You're going into this massive market. There's really nothing that is a four-player co-op with machines like that. I mean,
Yeah.
they could have
Yeah,
really-
it. So I don't know how this campaign's going to work, if it's co-op or just single player, but I believe it's just single player campaign, which kind of stinks. But at least we get a campaign and we get to learn about the world of Titanfall and how everything works. So
yeah.
now they have a bigger budget, they can afford making the campaign and the multiplayer. And we have another question. Says, would you play an MMO of Pokemon? We've talked
Yes.
about this a little bit.
Yes,
And-
absolutely,
I would literally-
100%.
I would spend $200 to buy it. Like
I'd
that's,
pay more than that.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
I
yes.
would literally go out into debt just to
This
play
is stuff you have been talking about. We've been talking about since like we were kids and Pokemon was
Yes.
out. Just like give us an MMO.
that. Okay, if you want to see something cool, search on the internet, Unreal 4 engine Pokemon. It is literally amazing. It is the. I almost had an orgasm. Almost.
Nerdgasm.
It was amazing. It's literally awesome. You go and
Yeah, it's
watch
open
it. If you
world.
want something, if you want your day to be amazing, go watch Unreal 4 engine Pokemon. It's amazing.
I saw that and I was kind of blown away. I was like,
Yes.
these graphics.
It's amazing. I
What
mean,
could an MMO be like? But the thing is, could it work?
yes. Yeah, I think
How?
there's two ways that I think that you can do it, and you guys let me know if you think. Okay, one, you either do like a Final Fantasy type thing where you walk around, and so it's like the original Pokemon. You walk around,
Mhm.
except it's a massive 3D world, open world, like your first person view, or you can do a third person. Doesn't really matter to me, but make it massively open world, 3D, everything, no barrier stopping you, massive world. Well, except it would have to be like Pokemon, so there'd be barriers and stuff. But
Yeah.
and then do it like the original Pokemon, where if you go through, but make the Pokemon visible. So like if they're in the grass, you can see the Pokemon scuttling across the grass, and so you walk up to it to fight it. And then when you fight it, it goes into the normal mode, turn-based, all that. I would play that. That would be fun. Or you can do it kind of like have you ever played Kima Namu or whatever the game was? That weird Japanese game. Well, in that, the fighting arena, what would happen when you're going into a fight, a shield would come up, or it would have like a little fight arena. So then what would happen is you can switch between your Pokemon and your hero. Or it would be your monster and you. So what happens is like your person can throw the Pokeball and stuff like that. So it would be a little bit more fast paced, and you have to get pretty good with throwing Pokeballs.
Yeah.
But they would have a health bar above their thing. So you would throw out your Pokemon, and you would be that Pokemon, and so it would be a real time battle where
Combat.
your Pokemon has like 4 moves depending on the 4 buttons. It can jump, and then it does 3 attacks or 4 attacks. And so you would push the buttons, and it would do its special ability and stuff like that. Now, the way you can't do it that way. It's a lot harder to do it because some abilities only boost your Pokemon. So it's kind of hard to do that, like stat increase and stuff like that. So I don't know how they would do it that way, but
The
that would
thing
be
is, I listened to another podcast and they were talking about a Pokemon MMO, and they said it would be awesome to have. It would be great, but the thing is, that would cost so much money to make, so much money to like figure out all the hardware and the programming and the
like
graphics.
I said, they already have the base of it with the original Pokemon. Like, I mean, look at the 3DS, what it's doing now. It's pretty much 3D by itself there. Like, I mean, it's already there. Like, all they have to do is bump it up a little bit and make it for the console, like Wii U. Like, I think if they kept the base, it would be pretty simple. Like, it wouldn't be that hard to do.
They seem to believe that it would not be a console seller. If
What?
a Pokemon MMO came out, it would not be a console seller, and because Pokemon has always been on handhelds, and
I
that's
know,
what
but
it's best at is handhelds because
do you know how
you
well
can go
though
somewhere,
Coliseum
fight
did?
something once, then put it away. What was that?
Do you know how well though Coliseum did in that? Like, I mean, people loved Coliseum.
People loved Coliseum, but then they came out with a second one, and I don't think that one did very well. That's why they haven't made another one.
But it would be a huge seller. Like, I would literally go out and buy a Wii U right now just to play it. Like,
Never know, might be on NX.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, how do you guys think they should do? I kind of like the Final Fantasy aspect of it, or the original one, where they just make it an open world. You still do your fights like the original Pokemon, except you can actually see the Pokemon roaming around the world. Like, that would be awesome to walk out into a field and you just see um, Tauruses like just roaming the field. Like, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So, we need to wrap up here pretty soon. So, it's a good topic, Prime. So, we're going to move on to our next topic and our main topic of this evening. When do you think the next Elder Scrolls will be coming out?
Never.
Never?
Okay. The question you presented me and the question you're asking now are different. The question you told me earlier was, when do you think it'll be announced?
Okay, that was my fault. When do you think it will be announced? Because what they did with Fallout 4, they announced it the year it was coming out. So, it's actually might be the same question. But what are your thoughts on it, Zach?
Well, I'm sure they'll make another one.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to take a guess based on their past games, probably this year, late this year, or maybe like mid to late next year.
Elder Scrolls, Skyrim. Why did I... It's my favorite game. How can I forget it? Elder Scrolls Skyrim came out in 2011.
I still
Which...
think it's going to be maybe like 4 years before they come out with another one. Maybe 2. Because, like, I think they're still focusing on their flop of online game. So, I mean...
I just... Skyrim, to me, yeah, it was dumbed down from Oblivion, and people are angry about that, but I still thought the game was solid, a great story, great atmosphere. The combat was so much better than Oblivion, I felt, just like how smooth it was and everything.
Awesome.
And I think it's going to be announced in 2 years, not this year, maybe this coming year, if not this coming year, the year after, because Fallout 3, they spent 7 years making that game. 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And this game came out in 2011. It's 2016 right now. So it's been 5 years since, well, about 4.5 years since our last Elder Scrolls game. I feel, well, we did have online, but let's not count that.
Yeah, I was about to say we're missing something there.
Yeah, we did have Elder Scrolls Online, but they didn't work on that. They just had the licensing handed out to another company. But from Fallout 3 to Fallout 4, it was 7 years. And from
Oblivion
Skyrim,
to Skyrim was 5.
it was 5.
Skyrim to now is about 5.
So you think they will have an next Elder Scrolls this year, 2016,
Possibly, maybe
possibly,
17.
maybe
Yes,
17.
but I mean, it's got to be something massive. I mean, because even I've heard people say that even from Fallout 3 to 4 is not that much difference in the aspects of like the keys and stuff like that. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, yeah, Fallout 4, their announcement was massive, but and a lot of people got mad at Fallout 4 because of how simple it is. Like, there's like, okay, you guys spent so long on this, but yet you couldn't come up with. You just like threw some of the older stuff onto it, and you kind of just like made a new world. Like, so I mean, if they do come out with a new Elder Scrolls, I mean, it better be something good. Like, I mean, it better be. I still think, yeah, I think it's what you're saying. 2 years. I don't think it'll be out this year.
Yeah. I, man, I was disappointed because Fallout 3 to Fallout 4, they dumped it way down. And, like, the karma, my friend was, like, so mad they got rid of karma. Because that was one of his favorite things about Fallout 3 was, like, the karma system. And I am hoping they don't dumb down Skyrim. Because it was already dumbed down from Oblivion. I hope they don't, not dumb down, what's the better word?
Simplistic. I mean,
Simplify mainstream. I don't want it to
yes,
be more mainstream. I want it to keep the solid
they want it to be
RPG
safe.
elements, the leveling system. The leveling system was amazing in Skyrim. Combat system could get some improvements, but it's still really good. Like new spells and everything. And then also, my thing is, they need a new engine, a new game engine, because we saw that Fallout 4 was having some difficulties, and a lot of people, the number one complaint was the graphics actually, because
Yeah.
they're like, we were expecting this game to be like mind blowing like Skyrim was when it came out because those graphics were amazing. And I feel like they used the same engine, but just upgraded the graphics and kind of like updated their engine. So hopefully they just come out with a new engine that can run more and maybe look better and maybe the AI be better because I've played a lot of Fallout 4. I'm still playing it. And I'm not saying it's a bad game, but I've run into so many bugs with NPCs getting stuck on walls or
Mm,
just like
yeah.
running into invisible objects or not being able to talk to them. And I would like that to be fixed. Yeah, it's an open world game. There's going to be bugs, but I feel like they could
Yeah,
fix that
because
with a
it
new
happened in
engine.
Skyrim too when it came out.
It was pretty buggy. Um,
Yeah.
See, I do like though. I'm literally having the best time of my life with Fallout 4 and the melee.
Hmm.
I have a furious sledgehammer, and I'm just going around smashing people's limbs
My
off,
melee weapon of
smashing their
choice as
heads
well.
off. So I mean, that is what I kind of want more in Skyrim. I want it to be more like when you swing a sword, you can cut off somebody's arm or stuff like that. Make it more kind of like that. That would
Yeah.
be fun. Um, Improve maybe the bow a little bit because I love the bow in Skyrim. The sneaking was amazing in
Yeah.
Skyrim. That's literally all I did. That and magic. So what I want is a better magic system and maybe a little bit better combat. I don't really care about the lock picking. I think the lock picking's fine the way it is. I enjoy it.
They kept it the
If
same in Fallout
Yeah,
as in
I mean,
Skyrim, so it's
if they
perfect.
want to make it a little bit more difficult, that's fine. As long as they improve the combat, improve the sneaking, um, they can pretty much just do whatever they want. I think it would be fine. As long as they just improve some of the combat for me, um, I would be fine with it.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on a next Elder Scrolls game, Zach? Because like, what do you want and what do you expect from another or the next Elder Scrolls game?
I expect the same thing that Skyrim was to Oblivion. It'll just be a new, better graphic Elder Scrolls game with
Yeah.
a different area, different setting, and I mean that's all I expect anymore out of sequels.
Yeah, just
It's been a while since we've gotten a sequel that totally blew everyone's mind. That was like, oh my goodness, this is
Yeah.
like totally amazing. I mean, yeah, Skyrim is like one of the greatest games ever, but if you look at it comparatively to Oblivion, it's almost the same thing.
yeah, just some tweaks here and there.
Yeah, it has been like I don't think I've ever seen a good like massively good sequel to a game recently. Like I mean, there's been reboots and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, there hasn't been like they usually try to play it safe with sequels. And yeah, they're fun to play safe, but it would be nice to see a sequel that was just revolutionary in its sense. Because
Mhm.
yeah, people might hate it at the beginning, but when they actually like start using it and said that it will be like what Oblivion was or whatever and stuff like that. It'll actually be fun later on. It'll go down in history as like, you know what, I wish this game was as good as the next Skyrim. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like that
Yep.
would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they'll use like any like Unreal Engine or anything like that. I feel like they would make their own engine Prime because it's Bethesda. They've always made their own engine, and I think because of all the objects and like loose objects in the world, I don't think Unreal actually could handle that. They have to specifically design their engine to run all those objects and everything. And a big complaint was in Fallout 4 was the loading screens. I'm not quite sure how they would get rid of those, honestly,
There's a mod
because
for Skyrim to get rid of all the loading screens.
yeah, but you need a freaking hefty computer to run it. And I mean, the current gen, it's the current gen honestly is already suffering in graphics and not being able to run games. My PC can run Fallout 4 on almost max settings and get 60 frames. And then my brother, I watched him play on Xbox One, and he was averaging like 40 frames, and it was on high graphics. I'm like, the new consoles are already kind of having a hard time. So I feel like if they tried that, it would probably make the console start smoking and like melt.
Well,
PC
and
Master Race.
that's what Brandon was saying. He wants to be able to say if Microsoft or whatever did say, hey, if you pay say $300 or whatever, we'll send you like a box. You send us your Xbox, we'll upgrade it with like newer processor and stuff like that. So it's pretty much like a brand new Xbox with better stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, would you pay for that? I mean, would that be something that you would do for that? If
I
you could?
already paid like I think it was $350 for my Xbox One and then $350 for my PS4 or yeah, for my PS4. I'm
So
not
you
gonna.
wouldn't pay to get it upgraded?
It depends on how much it costs and how much it upgrades.
Too?
Like, yeah, like if it's just the processor and not the like graphics capacity or anything like that, I'll just be like, maybe it
That's
can
where-
load some like screens faster. Okay, maybe like throw in a solid state drive in there, maybe load the games faster. But I'm like, maybe not. But overall, if the console is just like 3 times more powerful and it costs $300 more to get this attachment for your PS4 or Xbox One, then maybe. But still, $300 more. That would make the console worth $650. That's a
Yeah.
lot of money.
Well, it'd pretty much be buying instead of paying for a whole. That's because that's what I was thinking. Like I was like, they wouldn't do that. What they would do is they would release a new system like the Xbox One Slim or something like that. They would release a new console, so you would pretty much have to pay for a new console rather than having them upgrade it.
Yeah.
Because in that sense, it makes it easier for them to do it that way because more revenue and stuff like that, and it doesn't make sense for them to upgrade the console. Why would they want that when their whole goal is for it to break, so that way you would buy a new one? I mean, that's pretty much their whole thing.
Yeah, we'll see how it kind of settles out. And I just feel like games are already pushing the limits of the consoles already.
Well,
and
I mean,
the last gen consoles lasted for 8 years. I feel like this gen, it's been out for 3 years, and it's already getting like pushed. The graphics and the processing.
That's
and
why
everything.
I don't care. Like, I don't care if games look like the way games look now are fine for me. Like, they still look amazing. They're not mind blowing, but they're amazing and they're fun
Yeah.
to play. Like Just Cause 3. Like, it's not like the best looking. Like, I mean, it's still, you can tell it's a video game, but it's still amazing. Like, it's still fun to play.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't care if the games don't look amazing as long as
So-
the gameplay is.
You're saying that you like the gameplay more than graphics, and the graphics is just kind of an extra kind of
Yeah,
boost to it.
like, I'm playing Fallout 4, I think, on medium, and it's still it's not the best looking, but it's still fun to play. Like,
yeah.
I'm still enjoying it. Like,
Yeah, so that wraps up this week's Game in a Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for following and liking this video on YouTube, if you watched it on YouTube. We will be doing these podcasts at Sunday nights at 7 p.m. instead of Friday nights at 7 p.m. So, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next Game In Podcast. See you later! If you enjoyed what you watched, you can hit that like and subscribe button to stay updated on all of our videos. If you would like to join us live on Twitch, we broadcast every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have questions, you can email us at askpsgn@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.